It's Sunday the 26th of July, and welcome to World Cup Daily. I'm Arthur, and here's what you missed overnight. Arsenal have made a shock approach for Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr., and the Bernabeu's new boss has drawn a line in the sand. Liverpool's Andoni Iraola era began in style, a 4-2 win over Sunderland, though Joe Gomez's injury is a worry. And with the World Cup long gone, women's football fills the gap as the Women's Africa Cup of Nations kicks off in Morocco today. Let's get into it. There's no World Cup wrap this morning. The tournament's been done for 6 days now, but pre-season is in full swing and there's plenty to get through. Liverpool's new era is underway. Andoni Iraola took charge for the first time and the Reds beat Sunderland 4-2 in Nashville, according to The Guardian and Sky Sports, with goals from Kieran Morrison, Dominic Szoboszlai, Federico Chiesa and Luis Kumas. The result was overshadowed by an injury to Joe Gomez, the BBC reports, which forced two teenagers into central defence for the closing stages. Elsewhere, Leeds gave Wales midfielder Harry Wilson his club debut, but they were beaten 3-2 by Wrexham in their opening pre-season match, the BBC reports. And north of the border, the League Cup delivered its usual chaos. The BBC reports St Johnstone crashed out courtesy of a dramatic stoppage time East Fife equaliser, while Dundee United squeezed through their tie. It's the same story across most of the Premier League this weekend. Friendlies, fitness tests, and new managers finding their feet before the real business starts. But the biggest football story of the day isn't happening on a pitch at all. It's in the transfer market, where Arsenal have just made a very bold move. Arsenal have made a shock approach to sign Vinicius Jr. from Real Madrid, according to The Guardian, with the Premier League champions understood to have made initial enquiries over the Brazilian's availability. The Daily Mail, Metro and The Standard all corroborate the interest, reporting Arsenal have checked on Vinicius's status as speculation grows over his long-term future at the Bernabeu. The forward has just 1 year left on his contract, and according to The Standard, Arsenal have now learned Real Madrid's stance. The club's new boss has drawn a line in the sand over any sale, unwilling to let their prize asset leave on the cheap. The Mirror and Football.London add that a shock Tottenham move has also emerged in the mix, underlining just how unsettled the situation has become. For Arsenal, it would be a statement of intent after last season's title win, a marquee name added to a squad already being reshaped for a title defense. Whether Real Madrid can be talked into a deal is another matter entirely. Kate, what's moving on the wire? Thanks, Arthur. Plenty more in the mix this morning, and a reminder, these are all reports, not confirmed deals, so treat them accordingly. Celtic look close to adding some firepower. The BBC reports Bodo Glimt striker Casper Ho is due to have a medical with the Scottish champions within 24 hours. And Celtic are also reported to be closing in on a deal for a Croatian goalkeeper as part of the same spending push. At Newcastle, head coach Eddie Howe says he's had positive discussions with captain Bruno Guimaraes, the BBC reports, amid continued Arsenal interest in the midfielder. Manchester United have reportedly been given a deadline by Roma to complete a move for Manu Kone, according to Metro and The Mirror, with the Italian club growing frustrated at the pace of talks. And the Jan Diamond saga has taken another twist. The Standard and This Is Anfield report Real Madrid have made a surprise €85.4 million bid for the RB Leipzig winger, a U-turn that could leave Arsenal, Liverpool and PSG all missing out. Plenty more shorter items to get through. Let's move to quick hits. Few smaller stories worth knowing. Ipswich Town have completed the signing of Japan forward Daisen Maeda from Celtic on a contract until 2029. The BBC confirms. A straightforward, done deal. It's a messier story at Woking, where former Spurs striker Jermaine Defoe's shock exit came after growing concerns, according to the club's director of football, who claims Defoe failed to turn up for training. Reported by the BBC and The Guardian. World Cup hero Vazinha, the Cape Verde goalkeeper who earned plaudits at the tournament, is set to join Chilean side Colo Colo. The BBC reports. Chelsea are in talks to bring in Aston Villa's well-regarded set-piece coach Austin McPhee, according to the BBC, though they face competition from elsewhere in the Premier League and from Saudi Arabia. And at Manchester United, the BBC reports Mason Mount is pushing his case to be the final piece of the midfield jigsaw, having impressed alongside new signing Andre Santos in United's first 2 pre-season games. Back to you, Arthur. So what's next? Arsenal will be waiting on Real Madrid's response over Vinicius Jr., while Celtic's medical for Casper Ho could be confirmed within the day. Andoni Iraola takes his new-look Liverpool side into their next pre-season fixture as he continues to shape his squad, and Manchester United continue their own preparations with Mount and Santos pushing for a regular midfield pairing. Away from the transfer market, the Women's Africa Cup of Nations gets underway in Morocco today, with Cape Verde and Egypt hoping to carry some of that World Cup feel-good factor into the new tournament. We'll have all of it, and whatever breaks overnight, right here tomorrow. Stoppage time news, before the final whistle.